So there's my camera right there. The shooting lane is straight up the hill there. It's 36, 37 yards to the bait. And I went ahead and rebaited right there. That's the one this big bear has been coming in on. And today I did a couple different things. I brought my spray back in with me. I got liquid smoke, spraying it up in the trees and all over the place. I sprayed it right in front of the camera. I also, see right here, I smeared peanut butter on the trees out in front of the camera, and also on the pile. And also there's this big tree you keep seeing in my picture. This is a good sized tree, but I got peanut butter way up here that I can just barely reach, so I'm hoping to get a couple pictures of that bear up there getting at that peanut butter. But you'll see in my pictures I've been having another bear that coming in, a nice boar that's, you know, skinnier. He doesn't have the age that big one does, but he's a nice tall bear. He's just a little more, you know, long and lanky, but it's a real nice bear. So I'm going to sneak on out of here, and today is, I think, the 4th, so still got 10 more days, so I got to keep that big boy coming in here. I'll go home and check out the pictures, but first I got a few more baits to run. Alright, so I just pulled up to my spot where I park and walk it in about 400 or 500 yards and go run my bait where that big one's been coming in. And today I'm going to take a little closer look at it and try to come up with a game plan, because the season's starting really soon, and that bear is coming in right at dark, and actually a little after dark. It's after legal shooting hours, so you have to do some thinking and come up with a plan to put that big boy in front of us. So here's the big beaver pond right here. It's pretty good size. I park way on the other end and just skirt the edge of it. It's, you know, knee-high water, but get back in here, and this is where the bears are. I'm all alone back here, which is, you know, what you need here to take a bear in Michigan. Keep a big one like that around. You need seclusion. But just on the other side of this pond here, we got this big tree. Check this out. You can see where the bears have been climbing up it. There's claw marks, there's scrapes and scratches, but you can just tell they climb up there. They probably hang out on that big branch there. Pretty cool. There's some big claw marks right there. Sure, if I looked long enough I could find some hair. Now the plan is, when it comes hunting day, we're gonna be driving 2 4-wheelers back to the edge of this beaver pond, and Kenny, he's the one that's gonna be sitting here pulling the trigger. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna park at the back of the beaver pond. I think I'm gonna let them get started, get walking back here. I think I'm gonna give it about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna back out another 200-300 yards stop there and walk it in, because these bears over the last, have been 5 weeks or so, they're used to me parking at the edge of the beaver pond, walking my bait in here, taking off back out of here, and I don't want that to change. I want them to hear me leave too, because, well, yesterday morning I got back and I started reviewing my pictures, and when I came in here yesterday morning, there was a bear here, and I'm sure I pushed him off the bait, because I had a trail cam picture of one at like 8:45, and then a little while later I had a video of him walking away, and 10 minutes later here I am standing on the bait. So I pushed that bear out of here. I actually changed the order of my baits this morning. This isn't the first one I've run, so I want to do it more mid-morning. And according to what I'm seeing on camera, this is a spot you could hunt all day long and shoot a bear anytime. But when I'm really trying to figure it out and put a good effort into getting a crack at that big one, because I'm fortunate he's still here, and I hope he hangs around, and might try a couple tricks to try to get him in there earlier. Well, I can tell from those pictures and just looking at that tree, and that bear had his feet down a little on the side of a hill down below the trunk of that tree. And he was reaching up there a good 6 foot high, and wasn't stretched out at all, and had his nose up in that peanut butter. So that's a big bear. I also have a picture of the other one. That's a good sized bear. He's just skinny, and I got a picture of that one and video both of that one stretched out up there in that tree. And I've always thought that other one was pretty close in size, length and height wise, as the big one, but that's not the case. The big one's quite a bit taller, quite a bit longer. I think back to the bears that I've taken, and I know the first two, I caught glimpses of them coming through the woods, but long before I ever saw them, probably 20 minutes before they appeared at the bait. And when they came out at the bait, they came out at the thickest spot. They just popped right out at the bait, because I generally hunt in some pretty thick stuff. And I can remember sitting, in the stand, my first bear, seeing that bear, 80, 90 yards off, just a couple glimpses of them moving through the woods. And same with my next bear. They're checking the wind, even if they don't come out right there, they're circling, checking the wind, and that's what that big one's gonna do. He's gonna know before he comes in. He's gonna know if there's bait there. That's why you might not see him every night on the trail camera. He may have already, he may come in every single night, but he can smell whether or not there's, use his nose to know whether or not there's bait there for him. So when we get sitting there, I want to pop up a tent, pop up a blind. I want to go back there with him with a camera, and we're gonna spray the heck out of that blind and get any foreign scents off there. And then when it comes time to hunt, I want to bag up our clothes. We're gonna bring the four-wheelers back in here a distance. I'm gonna probably let him walk back there, get started back there. I'm gonna wait about 10 minutes and back one four-wheeler out of here 200-300 yards. We're gonna have to come in here, get dressed in the field, bag our clothes, get dressed here, walk back in there, spray down real well, and we're just gonna have to be real careful with our scent. We're gonna close up, maybe we might have a couple of peepholes, but for the most part, the only window that's going to be open is that lane right at the bait, because we don't want any kind of a crosswind, pushing our scent through the blind and toward that bear, because whether or not he comes in right behind the bait, right at the thickest spot, he's checking our wind before he's coming in, whether we see him or not. So I think that's what's going to make the difference, whether or not we fortunate enough to see that big bear or any other bear is, just going to be controlling our scent.